The cost of living is heating up, according to the latest Consumer Price Index data released today. The annual inflation rate hit 3% for the 12 months ending in January, a 6-month high for the inflation gauge.
It came as Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell testified on Capitol Hill for the second day in a row as part of his semi-annual monetary policy report. Ivan Rodriguez joins us live with the latest from Powell's testimony.
Alex, Courtney, one of the big takeaways, Powell says officials are in no rush to cut interest rates. His comments are in line with other Fed officials as well as Wall Street, which is really banking on the fact that interest rates will remain steady during the Fed's March meeting. The January Consumer Price Index coming in hot.
On just about every metric, this was a miss with respect to what we were looking for in this main gauge of inflation at the retail level.
Egg prices shot up 15.2% from December to January, the fastest increase that index has seen since 2015, according to the report. But it's not just eggs.
You had food, you had energy, you have shelter, you have used cars, you have motor vehicle insurance. This report indicates that inflation trends are worsening.
Inflation now moving in the opposite direction of the Federal Reserve's 2% target.
We want to make more progress on inflation, and we think our policy rate is in a good place.
During 2 days of congressional testimony, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said officials aren't in a hurry to reduce interest rates further, not what investors and potential home buyers were hoping to hear.
Once we lower rates and kind of rates return to a lower level, mortgage rates will come down. I don't know when that'll happen.
Although the Fed doesn't directly control mortgage rates, it does influence them. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage now averages 6.89%, according to Freddie Mac. For now, Bankrate's Mark Hamrick suggests Americans focus on saving.
One of the benefits of a high interest rate environment is that one can still command a decent return on savings in a high yield savings account that surpasses the recent rate of inflation.
Hamrick believes that the Fed is probably wondering if by cutting interest rates late last year that inflation is rising now, but he does think that both consumers, businesses, and investors should assume that inflation will remain high and that interest rates at least are going to stay where they are right now. Alex, Courtney?
Now, Ivan, what did Powell have to say on the topic of tariffs and what impact that could have on their decisions?
So during his testimony on Capitol Hill, Powell pretty much mentioned how it's still not clear yet exactly who's going to pay the cost of those tariffs, whether it's the exporter, importer, or consumer. He went on to say, quote, in some cases it doesn't reach the consumer much, in some cases it does. It really does depend on facts that we haven't seen yet. Now, I've also heard from economists reacting to Powell's comments. Some of them have mentioned how Powell doesn't really want to draw a straight line between Trump administration policies and what the Fed might have to do.
All right, Ivan, thank you.